Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, we are going to discuss about 3D printing for beginners part 2. So first of all, what are we going to do in today? So we are going to do a project about 3D pendant. So in this project, we will use a website called BlocksCAD to design a 3D pendant. The pendant uses a geometric design based on the flower of life, a design which is often found in historical art. If you have access to a 3D printer, then you can print your pendant. The pendant is small and only uses a little bit of filament, and it is quick to 3D print. The finished 3D pendant will look something like this. The pendant has a hoop, as you have noticed over here, so that you can put it on a necklace or a cord as you like. The pendant has a diameter of 40 mm plus the hoop for hanging. It is 2 mm thick, so it will 3D print quite quickly. After this project, you will be able to code your own design and create a custom pendant. So this is a symbol for BlocksCAD, and a special feature of BlocksCAD is that you don't need to require have any programming practice or experience. Any complete beginner can utilize this video because it uses a drag and drop style programming, which is similar to Scratch. So if you have any experience using Scratch, then this is like a piece of cake for you. So, and the best of all is that it's free to use. Hardware: a 3D printer and a filament. Solid colors always works the best. A necklace or a cord to hang the pendant on. So last but not the least, what will you learn? How to use count loops to create geometric patterns, how to use difference block to create hoops from cylinders. And now let's get into the components of BlocksCAD interface. So this is how the BlocksCAD website will look like when you first open it. Here we have the toolbox, which has various buttons, for example, 3 shapes, 2D shapes, transform, setups, match, logic, loops, text, variables, modules, experimental, and so on. On the right side, we have the render window, and I'll discuss what a render is in the late coming videos. So without any further ado, let's get started. This is the official website for the documentation for this 3D pendant. It is a Raspberry Pi's official website, so I will leave a link to it in the description down below. Don't worry. So let's search for BlocksCAD like that. Open BlocksCAD and go to your projects page and click on new project. I'm gonna name it 3D pendant like that and hit save. So first of all, we are going to create a hoop. The design uses 6 interlocking hoops in the center and the larger hoop around the outside. The pendant, as we discussed, is 4 cm wide plus the hoop for hanging. It is 2 mm thick, so it will 3D print quite quickly. So first we are going to create a cylinder of radius 12 and a height of 2. The unit here is millimeter. So let's go to 3D shapes. Click on cylinder, drag it. We are going to create a cylinder of radius 12 as we discussed. And note, after each change we make over here, we should press the render button to see the changes over here. If you don't know what rendering is about, check out my previous video. I will leave a link to it as well. And we're going to give it a height to not 10 and click on render again. And now we can see the height is reduced. So cylinders are automatically centered along the X and Y axis. Select not centered so that the pendant sits on the surface. This means that the Z axis value is larger than 0. Click on the render button after each change to your code to see the results. Now we will use the difference which is found in the set ops to subtract a portion of this cylinder to get the outer loop of the pendant. And we are going to pick 2D shapes, cylinder again, and this is going to have a radius 11, radius to 11, and the height of course 2. Click on render and you can see a circle because we have taken a large cylinder and subtracted it with a smaller cylinder, so we get like this outer loop only. Right, wonderful. So if you like, you can click on this colored square to change the color used in the viewer. This, however, does not affect the color of your pendant as that depends on the color of the filament that you use. So even if I use the red, it will appear only in the picture as red, but the actual product will be green if your filament you insert in the 3D printer is going to be green. I assume you already know that. Add more hoops. The design uses 6 intersecting hoops as we discussed earlier, and each hoop is moved out from the center and rotated a different number of degrees. In the final design, there is no central hoop. The hoops are all moved out from the center. First, let's translate or move the first hoop into the position. Let's transform, translate. The translate method allows me to move an object in to specified x, y, z position as I like. I want to move this object to the 5, 0 position. I have experimented with this value, so I know I want to move it to 5, 5, 0. If you don't know, you feel free to experiment with it. I'm going to insert this difference over here and click enter. There we go. We see that it's moved to the 5, 5, 0, and the hoop is off a little center. So we need multiple copies of this hoop rotated above the center. So first I intend to create 3 equally spaced hoops. So I'm going to use a loop instead of repetitive additions. So let's do that. So go to loops and count with I. I need 3 loops, so let's change that. And I need to rotate it as well. Rotate it 0, 0, 120 degrees. And I'm going to insert it over here and click on render. I forgot to mention we should put 120 into R. So to multiply this particular 120 by I need a particular thing called math, which actually allows me to multiply things. That's kind of weird, but that's how it is. Actually, I will select this particular one and I'm gonna delete this, not that. Let's see, 120 into I. Okay, something else. I think I need this one. Then multiply it with I I think I need variables for this. There we go. Yeah, exactly. There we go. So let's create a border for this, right? It doesn't look that great. So let's go to transform setups union and add this with a circle. So cylinder, cylinder, cylinder. Now is the difference. Create two cylinders and subtract it off like we did earlier. Duplicate it, duplicate this. Right over here we're gonna have a radius 20. This is gonna be 19. And let's run it. There we go, perfect. So you could also use math to work out the diameter. The diameter of each inner hoop is 24 millimeter. If the hoops meet at the center of the pendant, then the border hoop would need to have a radius of 24 millimeter. But the inner hoops overlap because they are translated 5 millimeter along the x and y axis. This removes a section from the radius. This section is on the arc 5 millimeter from the origin. So we know that we need to remove 5 millimeter from 24 millimeter. This means that the inner radius of the border hoop should be 19 millimeter. Math is really useful when you have to be accurate, but it's fine to just change things until you get the result you need. And that's it.